Hi. SAP stands for System Applications and Products in Data Processing. SD is Sales and Distribution. We have many modules in SAP. SAP SD is Sales and Distribution, Material Management, FICO, Finance and Controlling, PP, Production Planning. We have a programming language ABAP. PS is Project Systems, HR is Human Resource, PO is Process Orchestration. We use PO module if you need to send some information from some or other system to SAP. If you want to send information from SAP to some other system. PI, PO are middleware. Earlier we used to have PI, now we are using PO. PO is Process Orchestration. Process Orchestration is a middleware through which the data is sending and receiving to SAP. PI stands for Process Integration. PO is for Process Orchestration. If any customer places the order, we will create sales order for the customer and the material. The customer will place order for some quantity. Based on orders which are placed by customers, the sales orders will be created in SAP. Once sales orders are created, system will check, do we have stock in the plant? If you have stock in the plant, the system will confirm order to customer, create delivery to the customer physically, execute invoice. If plant has stock of finished goods available. Sometimes plants do not have stock of finished goods. Then system will check for the stock of raw materials. If raw materials are available in the plant, when order is created, the system will send notification to manufacturing team. The manufacturing team will manufacture the product. Once the product is manufactured, it has to go through quality inspection because we should not deliver defective or damaged products to customer. We should always send defect-free products to customer. Once product is passed in the quality inspection, the order will be confirmed to customer, create, delivery and invoice. This is second process flow if plant has only raw materials. Third business process flow is if plant does not have stock of finished goods and raw materials. The purchasing order will be created. It will be sent to the vendor. Then vendor will deliver goods to the company. In the purchasing order, company has to keep how much stock which is required. Once the purchasing order is received by vendor will deliver goods to company. Once company gets goods, company will confirm order to customer, create goods delivery physically and invoice. This entire cycle is called as order to cash cycle. Order to cash cycle is nothing but when the order is created until the inventory and accounting documents are cleared. Whatever business process flows we have, we call entire cycle as order to cash cycle. I'll repeat once again. If customer places the order, company will create sales order for material and quantity. Once sales order is created, system will check for stock of finished goods. If plant has stock of finished goods, system will confirm order to customer. Delivery will be created and invoice also. And second business process flow here is if stock of finished goods are not available. The plant has only raw materials. If plant has raw materials, when order is created, notification will be sent to manufacturing team to manufacture the product. Once product is manufactured, product will go through quality inspection. Once product is passed in the quality inspection, order confirmation will be given to customer. Then products will be delivered physically and invoice also will be created. This is second business process flow. And third business process flow is if plant does not have stock of finished goods or raw materials. Company will depend on vendor. If you want to get goods from vendor, you need to create purchasing order to vendor. Once the purchasing order is created, that has to be sent to vendor. Vendor will deliver goods to company. Then once company receives goods, company will confirm order to customer, create delivery and invoice. We call this entire business process flow as order to cash cycle. Order to cash cycle is very generic sales cycle which everyone can understand. We have many other business processes which we need to understand. We have standard sales, rush order, cash sales. So we'll go through each and every business process in a flow chart manner. So in this example, if you see whatever customer, material and price information you have, we call this data as master data. The master data is the data created in SAP application that will be further used for any transactions. We call this as master data. And whatever transactions which you are creating to customer, sales orders, delivery, invoices, we call all these transactions transactional data. The transactional data is just the data which you are creating to customers. Whatever highlighted records with yellow color, we call this data as master data. And transactions, sales order, delivery, invoices, all these transactions are called as transactional data. Even the purchasing order also. The purchasing order has to be handled by people. Sales order, delivery, invoice. This is how we have two kinds of data in SAP, the master data and transactional data. So when you create invoice to the customer, the system will generate a document called accounting document. This accounting document will be created automatically by the system when invoice is created. So this accounting document is FICO document. This is integration between SAP SD and SAP FICO. This is one integration. Even we have a concept called rebate. So the rebate is conditional discount which is given to customers. So from each and every transaction, the system would reserve some revenue for rebate settlements later. This rebate is a conditional discount which is given to the customers. This is not the actual discount which company is giving to customer. It will have validity period. During that validity period, if customer places the order, customer will get rebate value. The rebate is the conditional discount. Even this rebate also is integration between SD and FICO. And sometimes you use some or other bank's credit cards. However, you get credit. Once the credit is utilized, the system will block you. We call that functionality as credit management. So in SAP also, we will have same credit management functionality. Clients will give credits to their end customers. If customers' credit limit is exceeded, then system will block customers to place more orders. Let's say you have credit card of credit limit 1 lakh. Once 1 lakh credit limit is entirely utilized, you cannot place any furthermore orders. You will be blocked. We call that functionality as credit management. The credit management is the functionality through which customers would get some credit limits, and the credit limit value will be utilized in different transaction codes. So revenue account determination, rebate, credit management, all these are integration between SAP, SD and FICO. Integration means few configurations have to be done by FICO consultant, few have to be maintained by SD consultant. These are three important concepts between SAP SD and SAP FICO. So when you create sales order, the system will check whether the stock is available in your plant. If stock is available, the system will confirm stock to customer. We have a functionality called the transfer of requirement. The transfer of requirement is also integration between SAP SD and MM. When order is created, the system will copy sales order quantities to material requirement planning. Then the system will check and perform availability. So transfer of requirement and availability check are integration between SAP SD, MM and PP. This is transfer of requirement. Transfer of requirement is when the order is created, the system is transferring the sales order quantities to material requirement planning. If customer wants goods to be delivered today, the system will check how much time does it take to pick the product, pack it, and deliver to customer. If you are delivering goods through transportation, system will consider the transportation time also. We call that functionality as delivery scheduling. Delivery scheduling is just process of confirming delivery dates and quantities in sales documents. See, this is your plant. In your plant, let's say you have 10,000 stock available. You can deliver goods up to 10,000 stock. Once 10,000 stock is used, the system will not confirm stock to customers. So if any order is created for some 2000 stock, this 2000 stock will be reduced from available total stock. So whenever you deliver products to the customer, the delivery consists of different parameters: picking, packing, and post goods issue. So all these parameters will be considered by the system when the order is created. Based on that, system will propose delivery date to customer, when goods can be delivered. Based on that, the system would understand. So if you need to make any change in the program level according to client requirement, then we have ABAPer who is going to work on the code change. ABAPer is responsible to work on code change in real time. For any customized requirements, ABAPers work on the code change. But as a SD consultant or SD resource, you should own the requirement. You should work on the testing once development is done. So though the code change is done by ABAPers, but SD consultants are responsible end to end. See here, if it is the service based industry, in service industries we will not have any physical products, so we will execute only order and invoice. There is no delivery in service based industries. SAP PS is the project systems. In service based industries we will have SAP PS module. PS is the project systems module. So this project systems integration with employee master is required. For employee master, we will have SAP HR. HR is human resources module. These two modules are required in the service based industries, along with remaining all other modules. So we have many other business processes in SAP. First one is make to stock or standard order. The make to stock or standard order business process is something which is created in, say, standard sales business process for customers. Company will keep on manufacturing products based on overall demand. If customer places order, we will create sales order to the customer, create the delivery document to customers physically, and the invoice also will be created. These are different transactions we have in standard sales business process. In standard sales, we have order, delivery, and invoice. Once invoice is created, the system will generate accounting document automatically. So here, the company will manufacture products based on overall demand of product, not with respect to any kind of customer. We call this business process as make to order or standard sales business, make to stock or standard sales business process. This is just one of the business processes. Next we have the make to order. Make to order means if customer places order, goods are manufactured only for that customer. Goods will be manufactured only when customer places order. The sales order will be created if customer places order. Then the system will send notification to manufacturing team to manufacture product. The manufacturing team would manufacture product. Then the order will be confirmed to the customer, create, delivery, and invoice. This is the make to order business process. See, delivery, so once products are manufactured, we will get confirmation from the manufacturing team. Then company will post the stock for the sales document. Then the delivery and invoices will be created to customers. This is make to order business process. Company does not manufacture these products in case if company does not receive order from customers. In the make to or stock business process, the company will manufacture products based on overall demand. But in the make to order business process, if customer places order, then company will manufacture product. This is difference between standard sales and the make to order business process. So even in the make to order business process also, once the invoice or billing document are created, system will generate accounting document. And next business process is rush order. Rush order means if customer wants goods to be delivered immediately, then we call that process as rush order. In rush order, if customer places order, company will create sales order, and once sales order is created, system will generate delivery automatically. So it's not the manual delivery. We don't have any manual delivery in rush order business process. If customer places order, company will create sales order, then system will create automatic delivery. Once the delivery is created automatically, Then the company will do the picking of product from plant and storage location. If product is applicable for packing, they execute packing. And the PGI. PGI stands for post goods issue. All these activities to be done manually in the delivery document. The delivery will be created automatically here. Once products are delivered, the company has to create invoice to the customer. This is invoice. Even in rush order also, the system will generate accounting document. The difference between standard order and rush order is, in rush order system will create delivery automatically. That's the only difference. In the standard sales, system does not create delivery automatically. So however we have rush order, in the same way we have the cash sale order also. The cash sale is same like a supermarket scenario. If customer wants some product, customer goes to some supermarket. He takes product, goes to the counter. The user will scan the product to create bill. Once payment is done by customer, the company will deliver goods to customer. Customer can leave the counter along with the product and bill. We call this process as the cash sales. The first transaction in the cash sale is the cash sale order creation. So even in the cash sale also, the system will create automatic delivery. Once delivery is created automatically, here also you will have manual steps: picking, packing and PGI. These steps have to be executed manually. So customers cannot stay in queue for long time. That's why the invoice will be created to customers from order. Invoice, so here this invoice will be created from sales order. Even in the cash sale also, system will generate accounting document. So the difference between rush order and cash sale is, in rush order you are creating invoice with delivery. In cash sale you are creating invoice with order. This is only the difference between rush order and cash sales. Next business process is contracts. We have different kinds of contracts in real time. So what is contract? Contract is just an agreement between company and customer to deliver certain quantity or value of goods or products. We call that as contract. We have two kinds of contracts: quantity contract and value contract. The quantity contract is the contract for certain quantity to deliver to customer during specific time frame. The business process in quantity contract is we will create the quantity contract and update the quantity and validity period of the contract also. During this validity period, customer can place order for 100 quantity at any time. We create sales order from contract. One sales order is created, then delivery and invoice have to be executed. That flow is same standard sales business process flow. From one contract, multiple sales orders can be created. The sales order 1, sales order 2, sales order 3. This is sales order 1 for 30 quantity, delivery and invoice. The second flow is the sales order is created for 60 quantity, delivery and invoice creation. So from contract, you are left with only 10 quantity. For that 10 quantity, the third order will be created. You cannot increase quantities than available quantities from contract. In contract, you have 100 quantity. You cannot increase any quantities more than 100 in sales orders. You can give up to 100 quantities, not more than 100. So here the condition is whatever quantity we have in the contract, you can create orders only for that quantity, and within that validity period we should place orders. Second contract is the value contract. The value contract is the contract between company and customer to deliver certain value of goods. Even the value contract has the validity period. The business process for value contract also: first, the value contract is created. With value contract, multiple orders, deliveries and invoices are created. Let's say you have 1000 USD in the value contract. You can create different orders until 1000, not beyond that. Only until 1000. The first order is created for 300 USD. Second order is created for 600. The third one is created for 100. In third order, you cannot increase the value beyond 100 because 900 USD is already utilized. You are left with only 100 USD. You cannot create order beyond 1000. That's the value contract. Next business process is third party sales. In third party sales, companies do not maintain inventories of products. If any customer places order, company will create sales orders. Third party materials will not be maintained by company. Company will get third party materials always from third party vendor. In third party sales, the first transaction is to create sales order. Then company will create purchasing order. This purchasing order will be sent to vendor. Then vendor will deliver goods to our customer. Vendor deliver goods to customer. The vendor should be paid. Then company will create vendor invoice to vendor. Company is settling amount in the vendor invoice to the vendor here. Once vendor invoice is triggered, company will create invoice to the customer. Invoice. In third party sales, the purchasing order value should be lesser than the sales order value. Then only the company will get profit. The profit for the company here is, company does not manufacture products and company does not deliver. Goods are maintained by vendor. Vendor is delivering goods to customer. So, in this third party business process, the company is getting profited. Let's say in the vendor invoice you are settling 200 USD to vendor, but in the sales order you are charging 300 USD from customer. So because of this third party sales, you are getting whatever the difference you have between the vendor invoice to the sales order, that's the profit for company. So here the first transaction is the sales order creation, second purchasing order, third vendor. Purchasing order will be sent to vendor. Vendor will deliver goods to customer. Vendor will raise vendor invoice to company. Then company will create invoice to the customer. This is third party sales business process. However, you have third party sales in the same way. We have next business process, individual purchasing order. In the individual purchasing order, the vendor does not deliver goods to customer. 1 minute. Sorry. Next business process is individual purchasing order. In individual purchasing order, company will create sales order to customer. Then purchasing order will be created. This purchasing order will be sent to vendor. In individual purchasing order, vendor does not deliver goods to customer. Vendor delivers goods to company. The company would receive goods. It's goods receipt. And company would settle vendor invoice also, because vendor delivered goods to company. Once company receives goods from vendor, company will create delivery of goods to customer. And company will create invoice to customer. This is third party sales business process. I'll repeat. In individual purchasing order business process, the first transaction is sales order creation. Then the purchasing order will be created. The purchasing order will be sent to vendor. Vendor will deliver goods to company, and company will create invoice to vendor. This is vendor invoice. Once company gets goods, company deliver goods to customer, create invoice. This is individual purchasing order. Next business process is stock transport order process. In stock transport order, we are moving the stock from one plant to other. You can move the stock from one company, otherwise from one company to other company plants also. So here you have two plants, supplying plant and receiving plant. In stock transport order business process, the first transaction is create purchasing order. Purchasing order is the first transaction and delivery is the second transaction. Once delivery is executed, stock will be added to receiving plant. So in stock transport order business process, we are treating receiving plant as customer. The first transaction is purchase order creation. Next, create delivery. Once delivery is created, stock will be added to receiving plant. Receiving plant. If you are moving stock from one plant of one company code to other company code plant, then invoice also can be created from delivery. So third party individual purchasing order, stock transport order. These are three business processes where we are integrating with and PP consultants. Next business process is consignment. Consignment. In consignment, we are keeping the stock in our customer location. In consignment, we have 4 different business processes. Here we have 2 companies. One is your company, second one is a company where they have free space to sell your products. Supplying company, receiving company. So in this example, X company has free space to sell your products. So you can keep your stock in X company location. X company has free space to sell your products. You can keep your stock in X company location. The consignment consists of 4 different processes. Consignment fill-up. In consignment fill-up, you are keeping stock in your customer location. Your customer is X company. You should not charge in consignment fill-up. It's not applicable for pricing and billing. So whatever stock you are keeping in X company location, the X company can sell to their end customers. If X company sells products to their end customers, X company will get profit here. So X company has to inform actual company to settle that amount. The next business process in consignment is the consignment issue. In consignment issue, we create the consignment issue order, consignment issue delivery, invoice also is applicable because X company received payment from end customer. So in consignment fill-up, you are keeping your stock in X company. That's consignment fill-up. If X company sells products to their end customers, then we will create consignment issue. Consignment issue. The second business process flow. Sometimes these end customers can return products to X company also. If products are damaged, then end customer returns goods to X company. We call that process as consignment return. In consignment return, company will get goods from X company will get goods from end customers. Sometimes X company wants the actual company to take back product. Then we will execute consignment pickup. In consignment pickup, the company will take back goods. This is how we have 4 different business processes in consignment: fill up, issue, return, pickup. Sometimes you have only revenue adjustments, credit memos and debit memos. In case if customer is overcharged, then company will create the credit memo request order to return money to the customer. So in any specific sales business process, we created orders, delivery and invoices. In any invoice, the customer is overcharged. So the business process for the credit memo request is the credit memo request order and credit memo invoice. There is no delivery in the credit memo request business process. So you create the credit memo request order always with previous invoice. You created the standard order, delivery and invoice to the customer for some value. That's some 80 USD. So in case the customer was supposed to be charged only 70, you charged 80 here. So in order to return 10 USD to customer, this credit memo request order will be created and the credit memo invoice. In credit memo request, you don't have any goods movement. We have only revenue adjustment. In the same way, we have debit memo request also. In the debit memo request order, it's opposite to credit memo. In any business process, the customer is undercharged. If company wants to charge more, then we will create the debit memo request order, debit memo invoice to customer. Even in the debit memo request business process, we don't have any goods movement. You are charging more from customer. So in this example, let's say you created invoice for 80 USD. So in the credit memo request, the customer is overcharged. In debit memo request, customer is undercharged. In debit memo request, if you need to collect more revenue from customer, we will create debit memo request order, then debit memo invoice to charge more. These are few business processes which are important. So in the debit memo request, I'm just adding some example. The previous invoice is created for 70 USD and debit memo request order is created for 10 USD to collect 10 more USD from customer. So if you need to create any transactional data or master data, we need enterprise structure. Enterprise structure consists of different organizational elements. From SAP SD, we are responsible to configure few organizational elements. We have sales organization. Sales organization is highest level of organizational unit. If you need to create any master data or transactional data, the sales organization is required. Without sales organization, we cannot proceed ahead with any kind of transactional or master data creation. Next, distribution channel. The distribution channel is channel through which you are delivering goods to the customer. We have dealers, distributors and wholesalers. Next, division. Division is the product group of products whatever are manufactured by company. Next, sales office. The sales office is the physical location where the sales are happened. The sales group, under one sales office you can have different people who would work for sales. We call each and every group as sales group. I'll repeat again. The sales organization is required if you need to create any master data or transactional data. Distribution channel. Distribution channel would help to deliver goods to customer. We have dealers, distributors and wholesalers in real time. Division is the product group for products what are manufactured. We have different products. Next, sales office. The sales office is the physical location where goods are being sold to customers. Under one sales office, you will have different people who will work for the sales. We call each and every group as sales group. Next, shipping point. The shipping point is a physical location from where goods will be shipped to customers. These are different organizational elements from SAP SD. From SAP MM, we have few organizational elements to be maintained. One is plant. Second one is storage location. What is plant? Plant is just location where goods are manufactured. Under one plant, you can have different storage locations. In storage location, you keep goods. From company code, the company code is configured by FICO consultant. The company code is legal entity that is required for each and every company. This company code consists of chart of accounts, general ledger accounts, fiscal year variant. For few clients, we have calendar from Jan to December, for few July to June, for few October to September. It is controlled through company code. These are different organizational elements. We have two different SAP systems. One is ECC, second one is S4 HANA. In ECC, we have previous modules: SAP SD, MM, PP, FICO, Basis, ABAP. However, you have these different modules in ECC. Even in S4 HANA also, you have different modules. For SD, the S4 HANA module is S4 HANA Sales. S4 HANA Sales is a module. S4 HANA is application. S4 HANA Sales is a module. In the same way, for each and every module of ECC, you have relevant S4 HANA module. For SAP MM, they have S4 HANA MM. So we have many changes compared to ECC in S4 HANA. We need to understand different functionalities in ECC so that it's easy for you to understand changes of S4 HANA for ECC concepts. So there are many changes in S4 HANA. The first change is the database. So in S4 HANA, we are going to use SAP's own database. The database is HANA. In ECC, we had different databases from third party: SQL, DB2, Sybase. But in S4 HANA, we have SAP's own database, HANA. HANA is the database. We have many changes compared to ECC in S4 HANA. The rebate, credit management. So these are concepts from ECC which are changing in S4 HANA. The pricing, outputs. We send some outputs to customers once sales transactions are created. There is a change on these outputs in S4 HANA. And the availability check. Availability check is a concept of checking the stock availability in creating transactions. There is a change on that. We have many changes on pricing compared to ECC. One is 16 fields of pricing procedure. In pricing, we do have condition tables. These tables are getting changed. We have different master datas: the customer master, material master, vendor master, contact person. So we have many changes on these in S4 HANA. We should understand all these functionalities in ECC so that it's easy for us to understand in S4 HANA. So S4 HANA is nothing. We have many changes compared to ECC in S4. We should understand all these different kinds of changes. So in S4 HANA, you have two different kinds of projects. One is S4 HANA Greenfield Migration or Greenfield Implementation. Second one is ECC to S4 Migration. The Greenfield Implementation, we are migrating client from non-SAP to S4 HANA. Whereas in the S4 HANA Migration, we are migrating client from ECC to S4 HANA. This is difference between ECC and S4 HANA. This is from ECC SAP to S4 HANA SAP. This is the migration project. So this is how we have two different projects in ECC and ECC to S4 HANA migration and Greenfield S4 HANA implementation projects. In these projects, we are going to migrate all master data, transactional data to S4 HANA. That's the objective of S4 HANA projects. So this is just the overview on the SAP SD S4 HANA sales. These are the details which you should know if you want to understand SAP. All these different business processes are important. Even in business process point of view also, we have many changes in S4 HANA. So for each and every specific project, you would have SAP systems arrangement. We call that as landscape. So we have three systems: development system, quality system, and production system. The development system is used for the development. Quality system is used for testing. Production system is live system. That is used by business users. So these are very brief details on SAP SD S4 HANA sales.